the SSNIT card. And it has also been announced that beginning January 2022, the only card that will be accepted on the SSNIT scheme will be the Ghana card. This morning, we are honored to have the heads of both institutions to brief us on what this measure means to Ghanaians and how to get on the measure conveniently. To start with, we will have Professor Atifa address us. Then we will take Dr. Tinkran's address and subsequently come for your questions and answers. But before then, I would like to acknowledge a few individuals who have joined us this morning. From SSNIT, we have Mr. Felix Bruce Smith, who is the IT Applications Manager. Mr. Smith. We have Ms. Efuasa Akodie, who is the Corporate Affairs Manager with us. We have from NIA, we have Colonel Peter Kwame Gansa, who is the Head of Operations at NIA. We also have Mr. Abudu Abdul Ganiyu, who is the Head of Corporate Affairs with us. We have Madam Joyce Linanate, who is an actuarial analyst. And we also have Madam Teresa Esson Benjamin, who is an executive assistant with us this morning. So thank you for joining us. And I'll now call Professor Atifa to brief us on what this measure means. Prof.
Honorable Minister for Information, kindly permit me to stand on the elegant protocol established by the Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Fatima Abubakar. Honorable Minister, the presentation this morning will touch on the mandate of the National Identification Authority in order to give it context, the enrollment position as at 2027 and the status as at 2021, the roadmap for the achievement of excellence, key achievements of NIA since 2017, registration center in pictures, statistics from the NIS database for economic advancement, and an update on the data harmonization and integration efforts in order to link it to the data harmonization with the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. The presentation will be projected, and I will conclude with next steps. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen and friends from the media, the mandate of the National Identification Authority can be summarized as fivefold. First, we are to register all Ghanaians living in Ghana and abroad, and foreign nationals who are permanently resident in Ghana, and issue them with national identity cards. So the issuance of the card is the second object. Third, we are to create and maintain a credible, robust, modern national identity database. And fourth, to ensure the accuracy, integrity, security, and confidentiality of the data that we collect. And finally, we are to make data in our custody available to persons and institutions authorized by law to have access to them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the National Identification System and the Ghana card are interconnected processes, and the system provides a secure biometric register with a verification system. The National Identification System can track and trace all transactions and return accurate and up-to-date information on each individual, and it provides a single source of truth for the verification of persons. The Ghana card, for its part, uniquely identifies the bearer based on biometric features and it can be used for the verification and authentication of the identity of an individual. By February 2017, when we assumed office at the National Identification Authority, a total of 4,554,528 Ghanaians had been registered onto the National Identification System register, and 2,719,425 cards had been printed, out of which only 900,000 had been issued. Fast forward to 2021, the total number of Ghanaians registered onto the National Identity Register stands at 15,581,283. The number of cards printed stands at 15,562,413. And the number of cards issued stands at 13,946,371. The card that was issued to Ghanaians before 2017 was a 2D barcode card, pretty much like your old driver's license. It had 4 fingerprints, and it had a storage capacity of 2 kilobytes, 2 kilobyte storage space, and there was no tracking number. Again, fast forward to 2017. The cards that have been issued to Ghanaians is a dual interface smart card, the highest of its kind in the world. It captures all 10 fingers and captures the iris of the individual, and it also captures even the ears when you go to take the photograph for the Ghana card. The storage capacity in use is 128 storage space, and it has a tracking number. The roadmap to the excellence that we have achieved so far is the following. First, in order to ensure the effective implementation of the National Identification System project, it was requisite to undertake a number of activities before the commencement of the mass registration exercise. And it is worth pointing out that the mass registration exercise commenced on the 29th of April 2019. First, we had to transfer the back-end technical system from our technical partners, Identity Management Systems Limited, which is a subsidiary of the Margins Group of Companies. Second, we had to transfer the public key infrastructure of NIA to NITA. And number 3, we had to launch the first phase of the Ghana card, and we did so on the 15th of September 2017, when His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, received the first Ghana card. We also had to redesign the National Identification System architecture to issue smart and dual interface cards to Ghanaians, and to upgrade the hard and software components of our data-bearing assets. We also spearheaded the passage of the National Identity Register Amendment Act 2017, Act 950, which, among other things, removed age 6 as the beginning point where we could register to age 0, so that at the moment we are able to register children from birth to infinity. It also removed certain identity documents as documents for the establishment of citizenship, such as baptismal certificate and health insurance and driver's license and the rest of them, limiting it to birth certificate and passport. We also passed the National Identity Register Amendment Regulation 2018, LI 2356, and we upgraded NIA's data center from a Tier 2 data center to an ultramodern Tier 3 data center. We successfully negotiated with ECOWAS for the integration of the Ghana card with the ECOWAS identity card, hence the label on the top of the Ghana card, ECOWAS identity card, thereby fusing 2 different cards into one system at no cost to Ghana, but maintaining the integrity, security features, and characteristics of the ECOWAS card and the original Ghana card. We successfully liaised with the Judicial Service of Ghana to recruit over 2,000 Ghanaians as commissioned and trained over 2,000 Ghanaians as commissioners for oaths. And we also recruited and trained over 7,000 temporary staff for field registration before the mass registration proper. And we executed a public-private partnership project agreement with Identity Management System, which I described as a subsidiary of the Margins Group in April 2018. And we successfully ensured the fulfillment of the conditions precedent for the implementation of the Ghana card. Now, the roadmap to achieving excellence then has consisted in a pilot registration exercise in the Greater Accra region beginning on the 4th of June 2018 and ending on the 28th of April 2019, which helped us to identify challenges and to address those challenges. We commenced the mass registration on the 29th of April 2019 and ended on the 21st of March 2020, truncated it, I should say, when the COVID-19 pandemic struck. We subsequently went back to the field on the 10th of June and conducted an expedited card issuance and mop-up registration exercise and ended on the 11th of September 2020 without detriment to any Ghanaian staff or applicant, despite the COVID pandemic, having observed all the requisite processes. We also conducted institutional and household registration exercises from the 1st of July 2020, and it is still ongoing. And from the 4th of January 2021 to date, we have embarked on verification, the development of a verification platform and data integration services. Beginning 1st June 2021 to date, we are involved in the establishment of regional and district offices and the recruitment of some 1,326 permanent staff to provide services to Ghanaians across the length and breadth of this country in their communities. Our key achievements include exceeding the mass registration target of 80%, that is, the population aged 15 and above. We succeeded in registering 84.4% of the population when the target was 80%. We printed over 80% of the Ghana cards instantly, and we employed over 70,000 persons as temporary or contract field staff. We trained and deployed over 2,000 commissioners for oaths in the process, and we shared biographic data sets with such institutions as the National Health Insurance, the Ghana Revenue Authority, and the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. And we stopped some 3,811 foreigners from registering onto the National Identity Register and getting the Ghana card. And we successfully prosecuted some of them where prosecution was warranted, and investigations are still underway into the cases of some of them. You would see pictures of the mass registration, of the mop-up registration exercise, and the institutional registration exercises on the screens. And you see some of them crossing rivers and lakes and going through some of the difficult-to-reach areas of our country in order to bring the service to people. The registration statistics, as I have indicated, as shown on the screen, we've enrolled altogether. Our target was 18,453,124, and we achieved 84.44% of that. We printed the cards of 15,562,413, representing 99.88% of the target of 15,581,283. And we also have issued the cards to 13,946,371, representing 89.62% of the target of 15,562,413. And ladies and gentlemen, as at 28th June 2021, we had achieved the 84.44% of enrollment target. The establishment of the permanent regional and district offices is ongoing. We have indeed opened offices in all 16 regions and all 275 operational districts and municipalities in the country. However, the actual performance of our duties in some of these offices have not been possible because of some difficulties in some of the local communities that prevented the actual work from going on. But overall, the offices have been established, and as soon as the recruitment processes are completed, they'll be fully functional, and they will provide the following services: registration of all citizens from age 0 to infinity free of charge, the issuance of the printed cards to the applicants, the registration of all foreigners who are legally resident in the country at a fee, the replacement of lost, stolen, damaged, or defaced Ghana cards at a fee of 30 Ghana cedis, and an update of personal records of all applicants in the National Identity Register. If one goes to register, update their record, say digital address or residential address, it is at no fee. But if one goes to update a record by changing your name or indicating that you have a second date of birth, then there is a fee. Registration of children below the age of 15 years, the announcement for the commencement of that will be made in due course, just as the registration of Ghanaians in the diaspora. The Ghana card has tremendous features that make it top in the range. It is comprehensive, the database that captures biometric citizenship, address and digital address and age, and integration and harmonization with other databases. It is secure and has high-level encryption, digital certificates, public key infrastructure, and biometrics. It meets the highest global standards, has contact and contactless smart card with 256 memory chip, secure printing that meets global standards, and it has International Civil Aviation Standardization Organization and NIST certification with open standards. The Ghana card is unique. It has biometric verification system that is fast, it's accurate, and not limited by geography. It is auditable in that it has a capacity to track and trace all transactions and return accurate and up-to-date information on the status of each individual, including voting transactions. And it provides a single source of truth for the verification of persons. The potential benefits of the Ghana card are immense. Among other things, it will result in the elimination of cost and fatigue of periodic citizen registration in different data silos, the issuance of secure, reliable smart cards with 10-year life cycle to enhance identification, policy planning, and national development, the elimination of concerns of identity fraud due to high integrity of the National Identity Database. There's no non-duplication of identities in different data silos, and doubts and controversies about eligibility of persons for various services and facilities such as citizenship determination, age determination for purposes of voting or other concerns will be eliminated. And it has enhanced inclusiveness due to fast, accurate enrollment and verification facilities or capabilities, online and offline verification processes, fingerprint, facial and iris, biometrics that are captured, and the iris is to be activated based on need at a later date. And these verification facilities are available, and successful verification with or without Ghana card present. So your Ghana card number alone may be sufficient, or your fingerprint may be sufficient without a physical Ghana card. Not maybe, will be sufficient. One-off registration for Ghana card will also ensure eligibility for various services. There are about 17 mandatory uses of the Ghana card. There are about 17 things you cannot do without the Ghana card. For example, you cannot apply for and be issued with a passport, with a driver's license, with insurance policies, and you cannot also engage in banking transactions if you do not have the Ghana card. You cannot purchase, transfer, and register land if you don't have the Ghana card. You cannot engage in transactions that are specified under the National Health Insurance, the pensions, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, consumer credit, and the like. And you cannot register to be a voter, you cannot pay your taxes, and you cannot register for SIM card or re-register your SIM card. You cannot engage, you cannot apply for any government services, facilities, and opportunities that are customarily available to the public, permissions or benefits without the Ghana card. And that may include, let's say, school feeding and LEAP and the rest of them. And any other transaction which NIA, the authority, may determine and publish in the Gazette. Other institutions to be onboarded in the data sharing process, data harmonization and integration, include the Lands Commission, the National Service Secretariat, the Student Loan Scheme, and the rest of them. The Ghana card and NHIA, for example, provides a good illustration. The integration status as follows. On Monday, the 9th of November 2020, the short code *929# was launched to help National Health Insurance Scheme cardholders link their cards with the Ghana card. There's bulk data on applicants who provide their NHIS details transferred to the National Health Insurance Authority. And there's continuous data transfer and mapping going on at the moment between NIA and NHIA. The benefits include increased adoption and usage of the National Health Insurance Scheme. 2, health facilities are aided to seamlessly and accurately record births and deaths. And the system helps locate the relatives of patients during emergencies, and it reduces the time spent at health facilities by linking digitized patient records with the Ghana card. Consider the position of the Ghana card and the Ghana Revenue Authority. The integration status there is as follows. The process started on the 1st of April 2021 and will end on 31st December 2021. The National Identification Authority registration officials are at 34 GRA offices across the country, registering individuals who do not have the Ghana card but who desire to transact business. NIA will establish offices in all 70 GRA offices across the country by the end of 2021, all things being equal. Bulk data on registered applicants has been transferred to GRA. There is continuous data transfer and mapping, and the benefits include widening the tax net by including the informal sector, improving domestic revenue collection, and preventing tax-related identity theft. We have also, and for these institutions I've mentioned, we've executed memoranda of understanding with them, and the same with the Bank of Ghana. We've executed a memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Ghana that enables us to proceed to do integration, data integration and harmonization. There's pilot verification exercise completed with the Cal Bank PLC, and Cal Bank has rolled out the verification system at all branches nationwide. Other banks, such as EcoBank, Access Bank, Fidelity Bank, have commenced their onboarding processes, and engagements are currently underway with the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Association of Bankers to ensure the effective integration and harmonization of data. The benefits will include legal identity and verification of biometric information, facial and fingerprint biometric verification for the confirmation of identity, evidence of time-stamped verification reports, and it will speed up the performance of banks' Know Your Customer or KYC compliance requirements, while at the same time improving customer service delivery and mitigating bank fraud. Similar arrangements exist with the births and deaths registry. Having an accurate, reliable, and verifiable birth and death registry database has a wide array of individual and societal benefits. Among other things, the integration status may be summarized as follows. There is ongoing onboarding discussions Births and Deaths Registry has embarked on a consolidation of their identity systems and is anticipated to be completed by August 2021. The benefits will include control, entry, that is birth, and exit, that is death, on the national identification system. At birth, you are captured, and at death, you are gently removed from the register. Identification and facilitation of entitlements, and I should say that the exit is not just about death. The National Identification Authority on its own is also able to exit persons who renounce their Ghanaian citizenship, having earlier acquired the Ghana card. Identification and facilitation of legal entitlements is another benefit, and accurate national mortality statistics, informing, and I should say that the technology exists even to identify a dead person by the application of the fingerprint to a reader if the person is registered on the National Identity Database of NIA, so that the issue of unclaimed bodies and all of those things will soon become a thing of the past, just as football age will be a thing of the past, because you are registered from birth and you have one unique number that also follows you till death. And your date of birth is cast in stone, unless, of course, you go through the rigorous legal processes to establish that persuasively that your date of birth is not what was recorded at the time of your birth or later on in life. It will also inform planning for future health, education, and other social services. We should be able to track and trace a person who starts school at Tokwasi LA Primary and see the person's educational journey all the way to university, see where the person drops off or where the person continues up to doctorate level or wherever, just because of the Ghana card, and see who gets a scholarship, where they get it from, how they use it, and all the related benefits, and also maintain a credible and accurate database with respect to births and deaths registry. So, ladies and gentlemen, bringing this to an end, linking personal information of the newborns to the Ghana card pins of their parents. That's step one when a baby is born. Step two, a parent is verified using Ghana card. Step three, a baby is assigned a unique pin which is linked to the parent's card with details of gender, date of birth, hospital name, location, etc. And number four, the request for a birth certificate will be validated through the verification of the parent's Ghana card. We're doing the same with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. The Ghana card has 3 secure identity profiles, and one of them is an electronic passport, an e-passport, which contains a collection of read-only files, which includes sophisticated cryptographic mechanisms that protect the security of the document and the privacy of the passport holder. Information that is, number 2, information that is printed on the biodata page of a paper passport. And number 3, the holder's name, date of birth, and other biographic information. It is secure, and it has an electronic chip, and it can be compared to both the traveler and the traveler's document that is presented. And there are multiple layers of security in the e-passport that prevent duplication or fraud. And the e-passport on the Ghana card meets the highest International Civil Aviation Organization standardization requirements, and it is at par with the most advanced in the world. The benefits of the Ghana card to passport, to the passport office include the protection of privacy, the provision of protection against identity theft, the security of identity of the traveler, the facilitation of ease of travel within the ECOWAS region, and as I've indicated in times past, the Ghana card has an electronic passport on it, which is usable for travel within the West African sub-region, wherever there is an electronic gate. And finally, reduces time and cost of passport delivery service. You can apply for a passport with just your Ghana card number, and because you registered with your correct digital address, your passport, the paper passport, can be printed and dropped off at your residents because we have the digital address. The Ghana card also has immense benefits for the Ghana Immigration Service. The integration status is as follows. There's ongoing onboarding process, discussion with the controller of immigration, and the project plan for Ghana Immigration Service onboarding is developed. The benefits will include checking the authenticity of non-citizen Ghana card during permit application, providing access to data sets to the Ghana Immigration Service for the issuance of permits, comparing data for analysis on foreigners who may have non-citizen Ghana card but not up to date on permit renewals, having information of the companies and their number of expatriate staff in the country, and it will aid the enforcement of compliance with immigration laws, and it will be more efficient with digital address of foreign residents from the national database. There is an applet on the card. Applet space is available on the Ghana card for the storage of permit information on foreigners residing in the country. For the telcos, new SIM card registration and re-registration, the integration status is that technical and communications plans have been prepared and presented to the National Communications Authority. Draft memorandum of understanding for verification services has been shared with the telcos, and the demonstration of the USSD short code *404# has been completed. When we are able to register SIM cards with the Ghana card, we will be able to drastically reduce the occurrence of mobile money fraud. We will increase the legitimacy of mobile money digital banking, and we will also ensure transparency, compliance, and security, resulting in increased consumer trust and patronage. As I indicated earlier, this will be the single source of truth, and it is a truth anchor of the nation, Ghana. The Ghana card will also have benefits for the Electoral Commission. Ghana currently employs the passive voting system, which has limited opportunities for amendments and updates. Citizens who reach voting age after the closure of the voter register exercise, but before the election, are unable to vote. There is considerable difficulty in expunging the names of deceased persons from the database, and there is difficulty also in identifying foreigners during the entire registration process. Unlike the passive voting system, continuous voting system uses the national identification system, which is integrated with several national ID profiles. And for this reason, citizens who reach voting age after the closure of the registration exercise, but before the elections are conducted, will be able to vote. The names of deceased persons can be easily removed from the national voter register, and there will be ease and effectiveness in the identification of non-Ghanaians or foreigners. Ladies and gentlemen, the integration status with the Electoral Commission consists of the following. There's been bulk data transferred from NIA to EC. Memorandum of understanding is being concluded. The benefits will include elimination of cost of 4 yearly registration exercises, and therefore resulting in significant cost savings to the Electoral Commission and to the nation. It will allow for better planning and intelligence, as both foreigners and citizens are captured, including their digital addresses, dates of birth, phone numbers of voters, etc. There will be regular analysis of databases and even automation of some registration processes. And finally, it's worth indicating that currently, out of the 4.8 million registered population for the National ID project, 2.8 million people presented the voter ID to be captured. And now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. I will only mention the integration status and leave the benefits and the justifications to the very distinguished Director General. Suffice it to say that the integration process started on June 28, 2021, and will be completed by the end of this year. Individuals can now merge their SSNIT and Ghana card numbers, and I'll leave the details to the DG to highlight. We have signed an MOU with the Social Security, with the SSNIT, on these related reasons and relationships. Let me conclude by quoting His Excellency the President when he gave in one of the 2021 messages on the state of the nation. His Excellency stated as follows, quote, "Similarly, from the second quarter of this year, all national ID numbers will also become SSNIT numbers. This will increase the number of people on the SSNIT database from 4 million to 15.5 million. The national ID numbers will also become the national health insurance numbers. Very soon, we will link the national ID to all SIM cards, bank accounts, births and deaths registry, DVLA, and passports," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my fervent belief that we are firmly on the path to achieving the aspirations of our country as articulated by His Excellency the President. Thank you, Madam Deputy Minister. We're most grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Professor Kenneth Agyemang-Atefa, for the insightful presentation. Without wasting time, I would like to call on the Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, Dr. John Oforite-Nkran, to give us his presentation.
Honorable Minister for Information, Honorable Deputy Minister, the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring you a very warm welcome from the staff and management of SSNIT, and very good morning to you. Today, I'm here to brief you about the status of our ongoing merger of the SSNIT numbers and the Ghana card numbers. What we do at SSNIT is very simple. Everybody knows us as managing your pensions. We are ensuring that you retire in dignity and that your retirement income is secured. We do this by registering employers and workers and employees onto our scheme. And we then collect your contributions, which I like to call it the premium that you pay to us for ensuring your salaries, your occupational salaries against future claims. We then invest the excess funds that we get from you. I say excess because part of the monies that you pay to us is also used to pay current pensioners, because there is some intergenerational transfer of risk. And then when we do all this, then when the time comes, we will pay your benefits, the benefits to yourselves and your beneficiaries, your dependents, as the case may be. Now, in doing all of these, we have to have a good records management system, which is the backbone of all these activities that we engage on. And in doing this, identification of the member is key to us. We basically need to be able to make sure that the person who is in front of us, who is going to come and claim a benefit, is who they say they are. We have people coming to impersonate other people, and so on and so forth. So identification of our members and their beneficiaries is key, a central part to what we do in managing our affairs at SSNIT. So we've embarked on a journey towards making sure that we have a very effective ID system. SSNIT started several years ago with an 8-digit number, and from that 8-digit number we progressed to a 13-digit alphanumeric number. Now, and on the back of this alphanumeric numbers that we issued, we went ahead and issued biometric cards. We've had to sometimes go to the point of taking magnifying glasses and pulling out cards from the archives where we look at people's fingerprints that they've thumbprinted on a card, and just to make sure that the person in front of us is who they say they are. There's been long processes of adjudicating people who come to us pretending to be or trying to take on another person's identity, and so on and so forth. So we've been on this very long journey, and for so long we've done it alone. So the question is, should we continue going it alone, or we should collaborate? Now, that decision becomes clear when you look at what your experience to date has been and what you could potentially do if you collaborate and do it another way. So far, since SSNIT started the issuing biometric cards, which some of you do have, we've only been able to manage to take the biometric identities of about 2.8 million of our members. In our database, we have over about 4 million people in our database, but since we started registering people biometrically and we asked people to come to us and re-enroll, we've only been able to achieve a re-enrollment rate of about 2.8 million people. And this is as at first quarter 2021. And as the Executive Secretary said, leveraging on the NIA platform allows us to be able to subscribe to this single source of truth, where there wouldn't be multiple identities, where somebody comes to us and says that they are person X, and then they will go to another institution and say they are person Y. In doing this, leveraging on their platform, as the Executive Secretary said, they currently registered about 15.5 million people. So in one swoop, SSNIT is going to get access to 15.5 million records, something that we've taken years to get only about 2.8 million records. And when they finish registering the citizenry, we're going to have access to over 30 million records, which will include people and also our members and their beneficiaries. So, what is this SSNIT and NIA numbers merger? What is it all about? All it is that we are trying to link your record, your SSNIT records with us, to your Ghana card number. And in order to do that, we need to get you to supply us with both numbers. And when you do that, our job then is to make sure that the biometric records that we have on you matches that of the NIA. And once we have that biometric match, then we can link your accounts and basically merge your numbers. And then that will pave the way for us to only use your Ghana card to, when you come to us to transact SSNIT business. So what that then means is that after the integration is over, your Ghana card number becomes effectively your SSNIT number. So why do we go through all this? Number one, convenience. As the Executive Secretary was giving his remarks, he said that it is required by law that you produce the Ghana card in order to access a plethora of services. Pensions was one of them. So why carry two cards to come to SSNIT to do SSNIT business when you can carry only one? So that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. We want to free up some space in your wallet so that you can put in more cash. Second, it gives us a bit of ease in doing business. Currently, if you come to SSNIT to do business with us, to register, we will have to take your biometric data and then your bio data. You have to fill out a whole bunch of forms, your name, your dependents, and so on and so forth, where you live. And right now, we get all of that data directly from the NIA. You've already given them that data. So you come to us to do business, at the push of a button, we get all your data, and then we are ready to go. We may ask you a few questions related to your employment and so on and so forth. But the majority of the data that we would have to collect by ourselves, you've already given it to the NIA, and we just import that data. There is no transcription errors and so on and so forth. 3, we were spending a lot of money in printing and issuing cards, biometric cards. A lot of you have the SSNIT card. And now, the Ghana card has been issued to the citizenry for free. So, for us, as managers of your pension scheme, we are very happy to latch onto this because we do not have to continue printing cards as we used to do. And all the biometric information that we used to have on that we used to collect and put on your cards, we can get exactly the same thing on the Ghana card. So that saves us quite a bit of money also. 4, processing time of claims is going to be shortened. Because sometimes, especially when it comes to survivors' claims, where somebody has passed on and we need to pay, lump sum benefits to their survivors. Heretofore, we didn't have the biometrics of the nominated dependents. Now, if NIA finishes going through the registration of all the citizenry, as the Executive Secretary was saying, that we're going to start registering people from birth onwards. Now, we are going to have the Ghana card numbers of all the beneficiaries that you nominate. And that would include their biometrics. So when you are no more there and the person shows up and he says, I am Akosua Mansa, and then another Akosua Mansa comes and says, I am the real Akosua Mansa, then that adjudication process is going to be very easy for us, because you would have given us the Ghana card number of the true Akosua Mansa. And all we then have to do is to go to NIA, the single source of truth, for them to tell us who is Akosua Mansa. And so something that would have taken a long time to adjudicate, where sometimes we even have to go to the head of the family, Abusia Penny, and so on and so forth. Now we can do that very quickly. 5. Latching onto this platform is going to also give us the opportunity to expand our coverage. You know, there is a large section of the Ghanaian population who are in the informal sector. And when I say informal sector, it means they are not doing office work, so to speak. And the SSNIT law allows them to join the SSNIT scheme. But they're going through the process of registering them and, taking their biometrics, issuing the card, and so on and so forth. A lot of people find that a bit inconvenient. And so they haven't really availed themselves to all the benefits that the SSNIT scheme offers to them. Right now, everybody has a Ghana card, and they become SSNIT ready, so to speak. You are SSNIT ready. With your Ghana card, you can show up at the SSNIT office, and it's just a few additional information that you supply, and then you are ready to go. Now, very soon, we are going to complement this with a set of tools that are electronic tools that are going to be made available to all the citizenry, especially through the SSNIT app, where we are also going to make it easy for you to contribute now that you are SSNIT ready. I've always talked about mobile money, direct bank transfers, and so on and so forth. What we are going through now is a precursor to that. So watch this space. We're going to make it very, very easy for you to do business with us. And then last but not the least is what the good professor said, that the law is going to requires you to produce this card. And without this card, you cannot do business, access a lot of public services. And so we are saying, okay, come with that card, and we're going to use that card to transact your SSNIT business also. So carry one card instead of 2. So how do you go about to merge these numbers? You need a few things. 1, you need your SSNIT number. Now, that SSNIT number can be found on your SSNIT card, or for those that don't have SSNIT cards, all you need to know, remember, or bring along with you is your SSNIT number. That's all you need. So you don't really need the card per se. All you need is the number, that 13-digit alphanumeric number. And then you need your Ghana card number. That is the NIA number. That is the personal ID on the Ghana card. Then you need a valid email address. Valid email address because we send confirmation to you on the status of your merger through email. That's one of the avenues through which we will send confirmations to you. Then you also need a mobile phone number, because we also send confirmations through SMS, text messages. So once you have these 4 things, you are ready to go. Now, one important thing that you need to take note is that because when you give us your SSNIT number and you give us your Ghana card number, we have to make sure that you are actually who you say you are. What that means is that we have to check your biometrics that you have with us, with the NIA, to make sure that we are talking about the same person. You must have gone through the biometric re-enrollment process with us. As I was saying, I said before, we have about 4 million odd people in our database, but to date, only about over 2 million or so people have gone through that biometric re-enrollment process with us. So some of you, when you are trying to merge, may not be successful because what we will find is that we do not have your biometrics to be able to compare with that of the NIA to ascertain that you are who you say you are. And some of you may get certain errors, and when you go to our offices, we will sort it out. So once you assemble these 4 things, then we've given you 3 avenues to get this done. First one is use your mobile phone. And it can be a YAM phone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a smartphone. So any mobile phone will do. You use the USSD shortcode, *711 *9#, and you follow the instructions. It's fairly easy. It's just like buying credit or, buying bundles and so on and so forth. So it's fairly easy. And so far, when we launched this thing on Monday, we've gotten about 14,409 hits already. So as I'm talking to you now, the servers are getting hit and people are actually taking this thing up. So if you haven't done it, try it. It works. And avail yourself to that method of merging your numbers. Then we have those people who want to do it on their computer, on your laptop, on your desktop, on your mobile phone, your smartphone, using going on our website. So you go to the SSNIT website, www.snit.org.gh, and follow the instructions from there. Again, it's quite self-explanatory and very simple. Now, since we started on Monday, so far we've gotten only about 600 people using that channel. A lot of people like to do their USSD code on their mobile phone, but we have about 600 people who have gone to our website and done the merger from there. Then, one thing that you can do is check, after you've gone through these 2 processes, you're going to get text messages or emails about whether your merger has been successful or not. But you can always query us, our databases, and check your merger status. When people were registering for the Ghana card, they were admonished to go with all cards that they have in their possession, including the SSNIT card. And for those who did that, their SSNIT numbers were captured and made part of their Ghana card registration record. For such people, we have their SSNIT numbers. And so we have a process which we go through and automatically merge their numbers for them. So as I'm talking to you, we've been able to merge the numbers of about 495,000 people who already gave their Ghana card, their SSNIT numbers to the NIA. And we still have a few to go that we are merging. So some of you may not have gone through the process that I've just outlined, and you may have received emails or text messages already telling you that your numbers have been successfully merged. So if you are one of those, it is because you gave the NIA the requisite information for us to be able to link your two accounts. So in total, since we started on Monday, we have been able to merge successfully the numbers of about some 510,102 of our members, and it's still ongoing. As a last resort, when these two channels that I've given you are not working, you can always walk into our SSNIT branch. Walk to the nearest SSNIT branch and you will be helped. You may have issues. Some of you may not have biometrically re-enrolled, so when you try the process, as I've said, it will come back and tell you that the merger cannot be done, in which case you have to come to our branch for us to do that for you. And then there are people who just like to see and interact with the friendly staff that we have at SSNIT. And so you are very welcome to come to our offices, and then we will take care of you. So the takeaways from this short presentation is that from the 28th of June, which is just this Monday, we've started the process. I've given you the statistics of what the uptake has been so far. This process is going to continue till the 31st of December this year. So we got 6 months to get this done. But I will admonish you not to wait till the last minute. Please just get it done and over with, so that there's not going to be that pressure on you when you're about to enjoy Christmas and in the festivities. Then you have to worry about, have I merged my SSNIT number or not? We got 6 months to get this done. Now, starting the 15th of July, people who are coming to SSNIT to do business with us for the first time, we want to depart from the old way of doing things. So we're going to require you to come with your Ghana card. So if you don't have a Ghana card, as the Executive Secretary has said, they've set up offices at GRA offices. They're going to set up some district offices and around the country by the 15th of June going forward. Please, when you come into us as a new registrant, please come with your Ghana card. It will make the whole onboarding process very easy for you. And then you wouldn't have to go through this merger again, because you coming on board through the Ghana card already establishes you as a SSNIT member with the requisite Ghana card number. Then, once we finish all this, come 1st January 2022, we want to do a cutover, where from that time we believe that would have given people ample opportunity to have merged their numbers, and that they can just going forward walk into our offices with only their Ghana card and they'll be ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that will be my brief remarks for now, and with the permission of the Honorable Minister and his deputy, we'll be ready to take your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tinkran, for the brief but insightful presentation. Please, we will now take your questions. And kindly raise your hand, and then if you are called, you mention your name and the media house that you represent. Mr. Mo, won sembisa, ebi ansentro for bua hase an won sembisa na se wo bibi kan me pacho ma onsa so na ye frɛ won so a mesre se wo bebo udi na wabo adwumakuo nso so a wugina o ma na mu hase. Okay. Okay, so we have one hand.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. My name is Ataminsa from Ghana News Agency. I'm worried that you have just given 6 months for people to complete the merger. Why don't you do it as a continuous process so that even after December 31st of this year, people could still merge with their card, Ghana card and NIA? Then 2, you said because you are merging with NIA, you will not more print card, and it is saving you costs. Can you put the specific amount this process is going to save SSNIT, because we are not more going to print cards? Then my last question to Dr. Professor Atefua is, he said the NIA is going through certain challenges at the district level for functioning of, or making the operation functional at the district level. What are the specific challenges, and what measures are you putting in place to resolve it? Thank you.
Please, any other questions? Please, if you have a question, you can raise your hand and we'll call you. Okay, please go ahead.
Good morning, Honorable. Your friend Abednego Asante Asiedu, Bejma Wadum FM. Yesterday, your birthday, happy birthday. My question person me visa de say obu ha or Ghana card ni bi wo dada. Data now also no different from SSNIT data. In this case, Ghana card data na be use na say you be deleting your SSNIT system na me use Ghana card, and I say which of them only be use. Thank you.
Bacho. Nana Mpacho.
Yeah, Doc. Are you going to do the what do you call it? The merger in only Accra here, or all your district offices in Accra? Where must somebody go to do that thing? And then, Prof, a lot of people are saying that the process of this issuance of cars and registration and things has taken a very long time. People don't have their, some don't have their cars now. They have encountered offices, they are bounced, and things like that. Why has this been taking a long time? Because people are saying that, well, you were there the other time, you are there now. Why has it taken such a long time to finish the whole processes? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please go ahead. So we'll take that as the last question for this first set of questions. And
I'm John from the Finder. I just want to find out if what happens if one fails to merge the Ghana card and then the SSNIT. And then also, I also want to...
Please, can you speak up a little
I'm
bit?
saying that I would want to find out what happens if one fails to merge the Ghana card and then the SSNIT card, right?
Okay.
And then also, whether there's going to be an extension of the deadline. And secondly, how many days would it take for the merger to be effective after one has successfully gone through the process? And also, last one, if my Ghana card expires, will I need to go through the process of merging again?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So please, Doc, you may proceed.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the various questions. The first one that was asked was why not continue to have this thing go on forever? I'm using the word forever just to make a point. So why do we have, why are we allowing 6 months, 6 good months to get this done and not have it go on forever? I think you would agree with me that it cannot go on forever. We need to move from the old to the new. We believe that 6 months to do this process, which doesn't take too much time, it's adequate enough time for people to genuinely, who want to do it, to genuinely get it done. So the process in theory, can go on forever, but it's not practical. And that is why we need to put some time limit on it so that people will switch from the old to the new. It's like changing the currency when we had to do old CDs and new CDs. In theory, you can have it go on forever, but at some point, we need to move on. So we believe that 6 months is adequate enough time for people to go through this process. And this process, as I've said, doesn't take much time. Somebody asked the question as to if they do it, how long does it take to get it done? Less than 12 hours, less than 6 hours, depending on what the traffic on the network is. So, because all you got to do is when you go through your USSD code and the hashtag, and you hit our server, the computer quickly tries to match your data. We query the NIA database, and we get a yes or no as to whether this person who is hitting us is who they say they are. As soon as we get that confirmation, we inform you immediately. So some of you may have seen that once you do it, you probably get like less than an hour, you have your response already. Those who do not receive an immediate response may be because there is a network congestion or so on, or something like that. So even that one, it will resolve itself, within a matter of hours. And then one way or the other, you receive a confirmation as to whether you are successful or not. If you are not successful, then that is where you have to either try again or come to our branches. Now, when you come to our branches to do it, there I don't think you should take more than 30 minutes to get it done. Those who fail to merge their numbers, or I like to say refuse to merge their numbers also, right? At some point, you, as the law says, you're not going to be able to get access to pension benefits in terms of to come and do business with us. So if you, as it's required by law to produce your Ghana card in order to be able to access certain public benefits, if you refuse to do that, then you are going to be denying yourself access to these benefits. So I encourage everybody to participate in this exercise. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's in your own interest. People whose Ghana cards have expired, if the Ghana card expired, you have to redo this. The answer is no, because the NIA has a facility for you to renew your Ghana card. They are not going to issue you a new Ghana card number. That Ghana card number that you have is going to stay with you from cradle to the grave. So once that merger is done once, it stays with you forever. You don't have to do it again. A gentleman there asked whether this merger in our offices is only done in Accra. And the answer is no. In all of our 51 branches nationwide, from Boko to Aksim, from Denu to Laura, you can walk into any SSNIT branch and our staff is trained to assist you. Then there was a question asked about disparities in information of what NIA would have and what SSNIT will have. You see, the reason why we are going through what we're going through now is that people, for some reason, decide to have multiple identities. And eventually, we are going to wean ourselves off this. So in the interim, we may have to do some adjudication. Even today at SSNIT, there are people who come to us and they will say, DG, because they petitioned the Director General, things like my date of birth is wrong. All of a sudden they realize that they want to be 3 years younger because they want to stay at work for a longer period of time because now they have a higher salary. And sometimes people come and they say, oh, DG, I'm actually 2 years older than I am. You ask yourself, why would somebody want to do that? Because maybe the person has decided that they are tired, they want to take early retirement and then go and, cool off somewhere. But then they realize that per the law, if you retire at an age less than 60, your pension is reduced. So they want to take an early pension, but they don't want to suffer that penalty of reduced pension. So all of a sudden they want to be 2 years older. So they come to us with all kinds of reasons why they want to change, for example, their date of birth. And we go through an adjudication process at SSNIT, where we will call you in and we will put it to you. We will show you your own documents that you have signed and thumb-printed, sometimes severally. All right? And then we will hear from you as to why you think that we made the error in transcribing what you wrote to us onto our system. And sometimes we do make transposition errors, and we would acknowledge them and fix them. But there are times when we see that the object of the person's inquiry is to game the system. All right? And in those cases where we adjudicate and find out that there is no legitimate reason, certainly not our fault, that you gave us and attested under penalty of perjury that this is actually your data, we would say that for the purposes of computation of your benefits, and solely for that purpose, because your benefits are age-related, and when you join the scheme, you join with an age in mind. You give us your age. So solely for the purposes of computation of your benefits, that date that you've given us is what prevails when we are computing how many cedis and pesewas you are entitled to get under the scheme. All right? So that's just the economic, how we manage the economic impact of these changes on our side. But as I said, going forward, if everybody is coming to us and registering with their SSNIT card, with their NIA number, then there is not going to be any disparity as to what NIA has and what SSNIT has. So over time, all these kinks are going to be weaned out and ironed out. And as the good professor said, we're going to have one single source of truth, and that is going to be the one coming from NIA. And then the last question, which was the gentleman there wanted to know, so what kind of cost savings is this going to give to SSNIT? So let me answer that in many forms. So let's start with the card. We were producing that SSNIT card. It was costing us about $7 per card, which is about, what, 40 Ghana cedis, right? So by going the Ghana card way, that cost disappears. So far, when we started this biometric exercise where we started issuing cards, on card, cards alone, SSNIT spent close to about $10 million in, issuing cards, just the consumables. So now we're going to get that for free, right? Then the things like support, right? I mean, we were spending quite a bit of money, about, $2.1 million a year to support our biometric, system and whatever the pension administration system that we have. Now, we can, with the Fees and Charges Act that has been passed by your parliament, our recurrent cost is only going to be about 200,000 Ghana, 2 million Ghana cedis a year for verification, data update, records update, and everything, and so on and so forth. All of that is we're going to go from paying almost $2 million to about 2 million Ghana cedis, and that's a significant significant savings. So far, I told you that when we started our whole biometric system, the ones that some of you have cards on, and I just pulled the numbers, between our biometric solution, card printing software, mobile registration units, and the desktop registration units, and the consumables and the cards. I mean, we spent almost about $17 million since we started, with our biometric process. And with that, as I said, we only have about 2.8 million members who have taken advantage of the biometric process and re-enrolled. Just about 2.8 million, right? And we've spent about $17 million, 17. Now, with going the NIA way, each biometric data set that we get, it only costs us 60 pesos. So 60 pesos, if we get and 60 pesos is about 10 cents, 10 US cents. So if we get about 30 million records from the NIA when they finish registering, we would have paid just about $3 million for 30 million records, right? Significant savings. So, I think I have given you some, a sketch of all the, various ways in which our SSNIT can save money enrolling onto this new platform. Yes.
Please, you may resume your seat. A few questions were asked to Prof. Yes,
so maybe
so maybe
cede off for Professor.
Yes, please.
Professor, maybe.
Thank you so much, Doc.
So
I'm not sure if they have another set, but I'm not. Yes, please.
Thank you very much for those three questions. Number one, what are the challenges in operationalizing the national identification authorities, regional and district offices? The challenges are twofold. One, which is the primary one, is the very detailed, meticulous process of recruiting competent Ghanaians to staff these offices. That process is being handled with the assistance of the Public Services Commission and the Office of the Head of Civil Service. And we had over 17,185 applications, I believe, and that takes a lot of time. It's been screened down to about 6,000, and interviews for the regional and district officers began about 3 weeks ago and are still ongoing. And so it's going to take a while for that process to complete. And then there is also the testing of the technical staff who will be operating within the offices, and that testing is yet to take place. So there is a time lag, and my head of corporate affairs here, Mr. Abudugani, will be issuing a statement later today to announce the closure of the temporary offices that we opened for the month of June until these recruitment processes are completed. And then we will go back to the field. We hope sometime, maybe latest by, not latest, but we hope by August that we'll be able to be operational across the 16 regions and 275 NIA operational districts. The second related issue there is the need for us to complete the refurbishment of some of the offices. A few of them need better windows, secure, and all of that. And whilst we were just issuing cards during the month of June, it was sufficient with the support of the security and the agencies and the MMDAs, it was sufficient to do that. But going to operate offices in them on a permanent basis, we're taking the advantage of this break to refurbish some of the offices that have been allocated to us. There'll be a few instances where we might even change the physical location. We have been in conversation with the National Health Insurance Authority and the Social Security and National Insurance Trust that where possible, we may co-locate, as we have done with the GRA, where we have about 34, not about, we have 34 offices operational. So those are the two key sets of challenges that I was alluding to. The second question is, why has it taken so long? From our perspective, NI hasn't taken so long, not at all. I enumerated a number of conditions precedent, a number of things that had to be done between 2017 and 2019. When people say that this process has taken long, they often have no idea what it has actually meant practically to operationalize what it is that we have. However, it has taken long with respect to persons who have applied, that is, they've gone to NIA, they've applied for a card, and they say, your card is not ready, go and come. That abominable go-come syndrome. We've been particularly worried about that, but it arises from a set of factors. One of them is where persons provide us data that conflicts with data already in our database or in the register. Some people registered during President Kufuor's time, President Mills' or President Mahama's time, for the Ghana card. And then under President Akufo-Addo, they came and they registered, they gave a different name. But the fingerprints, the biometrics are the same. But there's a conflict between the biographic information provided earlier and the current biographic information. The system detects it as potential fraud and sends you your application into what we call adjudication, that DG mentioned, that type of situation. So where there is material conflict between, and it may be a spelling of your name, Mansa without an H previously and Mansa with an H at the moment, or a change in date of birth, as some people are wont to do, or an addition of a second or a third name, or an addition of, somebody has become a Mrs. and has not gone through the appropriate legal process with the Gazette notification, and then seeks to just change their identity by providing a new name. The system arrests your application and sends it into adjudication. And we had over 400,000 of those. We have cleared all of them. We have just a few left. We cleared them by calling people one-on-one and all of that. Just a few remain. So that's one. The second is, during the mass registration, there were instances where network connectivity challenges prevented us from printing the cards of applicants. We had a system that allowed or enabled us to do overnight printing and therefore deferred issuance. But sometimes by the time the card was printed and we went back to the center to give the card to the applicant had moved on and wouldn't come back. Now, we will call the person, sometimes we will get them, they will come for it. Sometimes you don't get them. Then we have, since we established these offices, moved the cards to the regional and district offices where the people applied. Now they come to, they know that registration is going on at NIA head office. So they go to the head office expecting to get their card. But the card has been sent to Elembele or Axim, Gushegu, as the case may be, and the person is here in Accra wanting the card. We found that situation during the card issuance blitz that we engaged in June, between June and September, where especially people who live in university towns, they registered in a university town like Cape Coast or Koforidua or Kumasi, and then during COVID they had gone back home and they had not returned, and the cards had been sent to the places where they registered, and they couldn't get their card. Now they are back in, they were back in Cape Coast, let's say 3 months ago, and they went there for their cards, and there was no there for them to get their cards. The offices that we are going to, that we are setting up, will provide a permanent solution to this problem. But it bears repeating that going forward, only truth will aid in a smooth process. If you want to get your Ghana card without headache, go with your digital address, go with your birth certificate or passport, or be vouched for appropriately, but provide information that is accurate. And when you sign that slip we give you, and you come back and say that there is an error, we will investigate it. If it is our fault, just as the DG said with respect to SSNIT, we will admit it. But if you had signed it with your eyes open, there is very limited probability that we will accept responsibility for that. In any event, there's a 30 fee, Ghana cedi fee for that. So there are about 200,000 cards, sir, that have not been issued or claimed. And I'm saying that there may be a dislocation because people are looking for the cards at the places where they are not yet. But going forward, the cards will be where they registered, not at NIA head office. The last question was about the expiration of the card and the renewal process. The card is valid for 10 years. The card body itself is valid for 10 years. And it is free on first issuance to Ghanaians. After 10 years, when you go to renew the card, you will pay a fee set by law. On that occasion, you may also be able to update your records. You have moved on, you've changed your name, you have a new digital address, that sort of thing. You can. But let me also use this opportunity to say that if you go and update your record, which you must do, if you move from Latavia Koshi to Cantonments, you must inform the NIA of a change in your residential and digital address. It will become a missus if you drop your father's name, if you change whatever, you must update your records. When you update a record that affects the information on the face of your card, you pay a fee of 30 Ghana cedis. If you change information in the data register, but the information you change is not on the face of your card, for example, digital address, you do not pay anything. That's for free. I hope this suffices in answering your questions. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please, if you have any question, we will take the last set. If not, the curtain will be drawn. Please, any question? Okay. So we have one more.
So we were told that one of the reasons for
Please, your name.
I'm Jean Ayi, from Home Base TV. Okay. We were told that the measure is, one of the reasons for the measure is for a larger coverage. And we were told that for the Ghana card, they have about 15 million people registered. And for the SSNIT, we have about 4 million. So is it going to be compulsory that anyone who has a Ghana card will now have to register on the SSNIT because of the large coverage, if the person is owning his or her own business?
Okay. So I think that's
Madam Honorable Minister, the question properly belongs to the DJ. SSNIT is a subset of the NI database. So not all persons who get a Ghana card necessarily will have any dealings with the SSNIT. But if you have dealings with the SSNIT, I believe that's when this merger is important. But I'll let the distinguished
so much,
doctor answer the question. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the question. The way the question was asked, I don't know whether the questioner is pleased that now it's easy for them to contribute to SSNIT or not. But I'm hoping that that is truly the case, that she's very pleased that now it is easier for people to contribute to SSNIT. You see, the SSNIT law allows for people who are self-employed to join SSNIT voluntarily. And with such class of people, it's a voluntary joining and voluntary contribution. So the fact that you are SSNIT ready, so to speak, does not mean that you are going to be compelled to contribute to SSNIT. But for your own good, I think that you should, whenever you get the opportunity, to insure yourself and your occupational income against old age and all the other contingencies that SSNIT allows you to protect yourself against. I think everybody in the nation should jump at that opportunity to be able to make sure that their future is secured when it comes to their retirement. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you so much, Doc. Okay. Nana, you have a question? Okay, that will be the last question because of time. For Prof. Okay, Doc, thank you.
Can you tell us, Ghanaians, how much you have spent or you need, the total amount you need and how much you have spent so far with the exercise that you have embarked on? And there was a problem with people's allowances and remunerations. Those who went to the field to do the work, they will complain that they have not been paid. I don't know whether you have paid all of them. And if you have not paid them, what is the outstanding figure?
Thank you very much, sir. The last question is about some people who have probably not been paid. Okay, and then the first question is about the cost of the project today. Okay, well, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, to the best of my knowledge, there is not a single person NI owes a dime to. All those people we engaged as contract staff, we have paid them off. Their contracts ended in September, and they are not owed. If someone is owed, it may be for the month of June. Today is the 30th of June. I am not sure that anyone is owed. The regular staff are on government payroll, and there is no issue there. The first question, I'm unable to tell you the total cost, the total amount of money spent today. It's not something I was expecting, but that is information we can easily provide to you. But suffice it to say that I have said this, and it has been misunderstood in the past, but let me use this opportunity to clarify it. This is a public-private partnership project that is being implemented. The government of Ghana is in partnership through the NIA with Identity Management Systems Limited, which is a subsidiary of the Margins Group of companies. The PPP, Public-Private Partnership Arrangement, was adopted as a solution to the perennial problem of failure, where this national ID project has failed repeatedly over time because, among other things, fundamentally because of lack of funding. And since Kutu Champong had wanted to do this in 1974 and thereabouts, and when President Kufuor gave it an invigorated push. Still, we have not been able to do it by 2017. Government approved the entry into a PPP agreement with IMS, by which arrangement the private partner was to provide 169 million United States dollars in the first year of operation of this 15-year project, whilst government of Ghana was to provide 124 million. So it is this total amount which was to enable the project to be implemented. The private partner's business was to provide, to conceive, develop, and manufacture and implement the system. So all the equipment we were using for registration, the technical system, the software, that whole business. Whilst the government of Ghana had responsibility for the registration, the mass registration, the payment, the vehicles, fuel, all that sort of thing. So that's the agreement that's been implemented. Of course, there has been variation from this because there has been COVID, because there has been going back to do mop-up, there's been going back to do card issuance blades and related matters, all of which have had appropriate approval processes. I'm unable to say, I had not anticipated, as I said, but it is something that is clean and above board and had parliamentary approval for all of these processes. And it was the implementation of this PPP arrangement over a 15-year period, that was estimated to cost 1.2 billion dollars, that I had said earlier. It was an estimate not of money the Ghana government was to provide. Ghana government was only to provide 124 million in the first year, and the private partner to provide 169 million in the first year. The project was to run itself for the 15-year life cycle, and the total cost over the 15-year life cycle is the 1.2 billion. But the project will pay for itself. It is a revenue generation enterprise which will make Ghana richer, make NIA generate funds. And I'm going to be circulating, Head of Corporate Affairs will give you a prose version of my presentation, detailed statement of what I have said today. And the beginning of it outlines the objects of the NIA, and the last one that I think is indicated there is turning NIA from a cost center into a revenue center where funds are generated to pay for the project and also to benefit Ghana tremendously. All this verification and data integration that I was talking about are to generate money for this country. I hope this is a comprehensive response to your question. Thank you very much. And Madam, just one correction. In my submission, I said that people can go to where they registered to collect their cards. That's not exactly accurate. I meant they can go to the district office of the community where they registered. Those registration centers were temporary arrangements, but the cards are sent to the district office of the center where you registered. That's the place to go collect your card. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister.
Thank you, Prof. So I would like to thank Prof. Atefa and Dr. Tenkran for this morning's brief. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.